Hey again, guys. So I've had something on my mind, thinking back over the years on the card hobby, and all the changes and how it's evolved over the years, and how some things, used to be not sought after, and later on became real popular, and card prices grew. And I think back because of a discussion I've been having about rookie cards. Sports Collectors Digest the editor did a story, I think the editor, on how he remembers chasing rookie cards in 1973. And, I don't find that accurate because nobody chased rookie cards in 1973. He was talking about chasing Goose Gossage's rookie card. Now, Goose Gossage in 1973 was unknown and 0-4. And there was no such thing as a rookie card, like it wasn't called that back then. I know the first rookie cards I remember chasing were 1981 for Fernando Valenzuela, Tim Raines, and Tony Pena, and Joe Charbonneau. But the only reason we were chasing them is because that was a year where there were like hot prospects and many of them were good right away. And we wanted their cards. And the only way you could have their card was by getting, the rookie card with the multiple players, some of those players. And back then we didn't want those cards. We couldn't wait till the next year rolled around where we could get them on their own card. Like nobody really wanted that Nolan Ryan rookie card back then because it was a you know what I mean? So you wanted the 1969 one more than the 68 one when I was growing up. And then the rookie card designation really came around in 84 with the Don Mattingly rookie card. So there was no designation of rookie card back then. In fact, I never chased a rookie card and they didn't have extra value back then. Normally, it was the best looking card that you wanted. I remember when the rookie card thing came around, I was shocked. And what me and my friends would do is we would go back through our boxes and try to figure out. Now we had to figure out what was each player's rookie card and see if we had it. And that excitement of going through and saying, "Oh, I do have his rookie card," that kind of thing. So that's something that's really changed in the hobby. So like I said, when I was growing up, I didn't always chase rookie cards, but later on, for value purposes, boy, was that a mistake. But we didn't know that was going to be a thing. There were like the 1947 to 66 exhibit cards. Man, you could pick those up for a couple bucks. I remember picking up Joe DiMaggio and Jackie Robinson when I was young, and man, those were ones I could afford, and I was excited to get them. But they didn't really have any value. They have so much more value now. People respect them a lot more. The old signature cards from the late 60s, early 70s for the Pirates, and things like the Penn Hills set that they have, or East Hills set, the East Hills Pirates set, stuff like that, you can pick up for next to nothing. All those signature cards. Now the Clemente signature cards sell for tons of money. Nobody really wanted them that badly because they weren't cards. So that has changed. When grading first came out, it was shunned probably, I would say, by the majority of the hobbyers. Probably by the majority, it was, what is this? Just another way, this is silly, just another way to get money from us. And now, collectors won't even touch a card if it's not graded. That has changed. And it's just a few years ago, you could go on Sharp Corners and get PSA 10s and 9s for less than it costs to grade them. And now you can get a real sharp raw one, but people will pay more for a 3 or 4 in a slab. So that has changed drastically. And over the years, there were things I shunned that, became very valuable. Another one is in the old days, it was considered to devalue a card if a player signed it because the grading was more about the card itself. And that kind of ruined the card. So you didn't want their signature on a card, you wanted it on something else. And after they started, Topps and Upper Deck and all the grading companies started to include signature cards in the packs, it made signature signed rookies the hottest thing. And now if you go on, all the highest selling rookie cards at auction, the ones that go for $240,000 or $3 million, are signed rookie cards. And just, back in the up to the early 90s and maybe later than that, it was considered to devalue the card. And it didn't cost you as much to get a signed card as it did to get a regular nice copy of the card. That's something else that has evolved. And so it's like, I used to buy up a lot of things that really were cheap because I never wanted to spend a lot of money on cards, or I didn't have tons of money to spend on cards. So I would go after these obscure cards because I've always liked, and I hate this term, but I always liked kind of the oddball cards. For instance, I would go after the overseas Babe Ruths and stuff like that. The Sanella Margarine Babe Ruth. I mean, that thing's selling for over $3,000 now. You used to be able to have a hard time selling it for anything. People just didn't want it. I think, it was going for $100 back in 2015-ish. $100 you could get one. I remember I got two different versions, and I paid up a little bit because it came with the whole set. Now, I paid $300 for two PSA 6s, two different types, and the whole complete set. And now one in like a 4, you're going to pay thousands for. That's changed. A lot of the old oddball cards that I got have just skyrocketed in value because now we have pop reports and so forth. And people realize how rare they were or are. And back, just a few years ago, no one wanted them. They considered them oddball. And so that has changed drastically. And I guess so my point in giving some of this history is that be careful what you discount today as having no value, or people collectors not really wanting it in a big way. So if you like it, collect it. And what's awesome is you can get those kinds of items so much cheaper than the ones everybody's chasing. I say it all the time, the top 50, top 100 cards in the hobby, they just keep going up and everybody keeps flipping them. And there's so many other cards and collectibles that go off people's radar that you could pick up, and you could pick up for a tiny fraction. I just bought 4 super rare cards. Like, I'm talking PSA pops in the 5-ish area, for less than I see some prospect cards, far less prospects cards selling for. And these are, old, vintage, rare cards, because these newer collectors aren't savvy. They don't know about these card issues. All they see are, the big auctions, and they're trying to pull stuff out of packs, and they're trying to flip these modern cards or the big rookie cards. So they're not knowledgeable with cards. They don't know the history of cards, and they don't know these rare issues. And being new to the hobby, they couldn't possibly know. I'm still discovering them, and I've been collecting for tens of, decades. So it's just too much to know. And so my advice, if you've gotten priced out of the hobby, if you're not buying because of that, if you want to have some fun and get back into it, go after some of these more obscure stuff. Go after some more obscure stuff. And believe me, in 5 or 10 years, those might be the most expensive cards. They might, because they ain't around. They're rare. I love rare. So that was just kind of on my mind, how the hobby has evolved and how I've seen it evolve, and how I've been on the wrong side of things. Like, I didn't care about a rookie card. That was the wrong side. I didn't care about autograph cards. That was the wrong side. That ended up being the wrong side. So you just never know how things change. So that's what I have for you today. Thanks for watching.